Hey everybody, I know what you're thinking. He really needs to shave, and well, it's been a wee while, and there's been no progress videos up, or no videos at all actually. No social media, no nothing. And the reality of it is, it's really difficult to make Zone 2 running interesting. So you're getting a wee update video, a few tips for what's worked for me, and this weekend, it's the 19th today, this weekend is the big run, so feel free to wish me some luck because I'm really going to need it. So nowadays it feels as if you can't go into YouTube without people talking about Zone 2, 80-20, Maffetone, and there was a big kind of uptake on it online anyway from what I seen about a year ago, and when it was decided to do the Markathon, I really decided to kind of go and do it and try it. Signed up for a 24-hour run as well, and I thought it's an ideal time to kind of just go for it and see how it goes. So I've been doing Zone 2 now for 7 months, I'd say. I thought I'd pass on some first hand tips, and also my progress as well. So my first run in the Markathon was the 1st of December 2020. I was roughly 91 kilos. I managed to run 1.6 miles. I was at a pace of 15:27, an average heart rate of 141, and it was a really nice flat surface. And on this run, I wanted to die. I hated every second of it. Previously, I'd ran marathon and stuff like that, so 1.5 miles I thought it would be easy, and it really wasn't. I was ludicrously unfit, and it was unreal, and it was pretty much a walk, if I'm honest. It wasn't a run. It was a massive struggle to keep my heart rate down. Every time I wanted to run and I just thought about it, I would get a wee beep on my watch, and it was horrendous. It really put me off wanting to kind of stick to Zone 2, if I'm honest. And if I hadn't committed to the Markathon, it's 30 days of running in December. If you've never seen it, check it out. I'd have probably quit right there, if I'm honest. So if we fast forward to today, it's the 19th of June, I'm sitting about 72 kilos, just under 72 kilos, although it does fluctuate because I love cookies and crisps and chocolate and cake and being away for work when the work pays for your food. It's any excuse for the Wagamama, and I'm pretty weak-willed when it comes to calories as well. So my weight does go up and down, but I found a comparable run that I recently done on the 1st of June, and I think that will give you an idea how far I've came. So that was on a nice flat surface as well. It was 3.7 miles. I ran it in a 10:42 minute mile average pace at a heart rate of 138. So you can see a reduction of around 4.5 minutes per mile with a lower heart rate as well. And this translates into your faster runs because you're building that nice aerobic base. My parkrun PB back in 2020 was 23:59. I was probably on about 65 kilos back then. If you go to April this year, I ran my PB for this year, which was a 23:11. I'd done that at about 80-ish kilos. So I was way more cuddly, and I managed to knock 48 seconds off my time, which is great. I also ran a PB mile max effort of 6:39, which I done with my local running club, Greenock Harriers, which is one of my tips, is definitely getting into a running club. It's a massive help. If I'm honest, the whole mile I just wanted to die. It was utterly horrendous, but with a good group of people around you, you will just push on and you'll push through it. So hopefully with that, you can see the kind of benefits of Zone 2. I'm sure it will translate well onto a bike, a row. I'm not so much sure of a swim. I'm going to end up trying to test it anyway because I'm going to need to learn to swim properly soon. But I'm sure it would translate into other disciplines. As well as these fitness benefits, it's massively helped me stick to my eating plan. I'm down about 20 kilos. I think that works out about just under 3 stone. I'm not really sure on the conversion. It's crazy to think that I've lost 20 kilos, but I've still got a ways to go till I'm happy. But anyway, here's some tips that I found that help me stay on track with the Zone 2 and not absolutely lose my mind. First thing is get a chest heart rate monitor. I wear the Apple Watch Ultra. I used to run a run with a Garmin 735 XT. When I bought the 735 XT, it came with a heart rate monitor chest strap. It cost me about £100 at the time. This is the single most important purchase if you're going to do Zone 2 running. Wrist mounted heart rate monitors just do not cut it. It doesn't matter what the advertising tells you, they just don't cut it. Something on your chest is the best way if you want to get accurate heart rate measurements. Now, there's a multitude of reasons why this is the case. Way more intelligent, more interesting, more articulate people can tell you if you have a wee nosy around YouTube. Second thing I would say is get comfortable with being uncomfortably slow. So when you realise how slow Zone 2 actually is, it's going to suck. Your dead granny's going to pass you. It's horrible, but you just need to get used to it and get out your own head. And in reality, when you're out running, nobody really cares. It's the same as when you're in the gym. You've got that thing in your head where you think everybody's looking at you, but nobody really cares. Everybody's there to do their own thing, and it's the same when you're out running. Everybody's running at their own pace. Somebody might go by you at a 7-minute mile, and you might pass by somebody that's doing 16-minute miles. As long as you're out there and running, you're doing better than the people that aren't doing anything at all. Everybody's got their own goals. Your goal's Zone 2, stick to it. Long term, you'll see progression. And getting onto that, you're not going to see a change overnight. You're not going to see a change in a month. It took me 3 months till I actually went on a run where I thought, oh yeah, I can actually start to see the benefits. And I would say it took kind of 6 months for me to really see the benefits bedding into my everyday running. But nowadays, if I've got an hour spare on my lunch break, I wouldn't think anything of just getting up and going for a run for an hour. I mean, when I started, I could barely last 15 minutes, which it just shows you how that progression works. Third tip, do not listen to music. If you are going to listen to music, you're probably going to listen to some of the slow, depressing, kind of slit your wrist sort of stuff. I would recommend getting a podcast or a book on. Some great podcasts to listen to when you're out running is like Modern Wisdom, Huberman Labs, Diary of a CEO, Jocko podcast, something like that. Something motivational, something that you can listen to, get your teeth right into, and it's going to pass the time. There's loads of books out there as well on Audible that will let you kind of just zone out and focus on keeping your heart rate low and not worrying about everything else that's going on. Fourth tip is find somewhere really flat and just kind of stick to it. We've got an area at the front of where I live called Esplanade. It's about 1.25 miles long. It's flat except for a wee incline at the end. And we've also got a park which has got a kilometre loop on it which is flat. So perfect for running at a consistent heart rate, because as soon as you start to run uphill, your heart rate's going to spike. You really want to kind of dial in your running place if you're going to be doing this. It's going to get really boring when you're running the same areas, the same routes all the time, especially if you're like me and if you like going out running and if you feel good, you just think, I'm just going to go left here, I'm just going to go right, and you don't mind getting lost on a run. But definitely for the first couple of months anyway, find somewhere that you know is flat, even if it's a track, and just stick to it. And the last tip is do your park run every Saturday, or join a club, which is what I ended up doing. Find a run that you can repeatedly do that is measured. Park run helps me out massively. You'll eventually get to know a few of the people that go, or if you join a running club, you're going to get to know a group of people at the running club who are like-minded, who are going to be pulling in the same direction as you, and that's massive. And you might find somebody else who's crazy enough to want to do the Zone 2 slow, consistent training with you as well, and that's really good when you find somebody who's actually kind of willing to come out with you on those slow, grindy runs. A repeatable run that you can measure as well is really important, especially park run, because it's a measured 5k, because it allows you to actually see your progress over the months, so that if you just decide, I'm going to run park run Zone 2, and you're out there every Saturday, eventually you're going to see your park run time decrease. Join the club is probably one of the single best things I ever did for my running, and with my work, and then because I'm separated, I only get my daughter half the time as well. I don't really get a massive amount of time to go to the club, but just being in the chats, speaking to the people and seeing them out, it's a massive boost. So yeah, that's my 5 tips for getting started or getting on with Zone 2, and a kind of rough progression of where I am just now. If you've got any other tips I've missed or anything you think I could benefit from, really, then feel free to throw it down in the comments below. I've really lived up to being that lazy running guy by just being lazy when it comes to doing YouTube updates, but I promise I will get better. The big run is this Saturday, 24 hours. I'm travelling down on the Friday. I've got it's going to be a disaster, but it's going to be fun. It'll be what it'll be. It'll be interesting. I'll either hit my targets and I'll do well, or I'll fail and I'll learn. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thanks for listening to my rambles, and I'll see you next time.